I think we all know these days or weeks or phases where you just don't feel confident, you don't feel good about yourself. Like for whatever reason, you are just not in your element, let's put it that way. And so for today, I've put together an episode for anyone who is currently feeling like this, anyone who needs a confidence boost. I was really just thinking, when I feel like this, what would I want to hear? What would I want to be reminded of? And yeah, that is what I wanted to share for today. Also, before we get into it, if you do enjoy my content, please feel free to like the video, comment down below, and make sure that you are subscribed if you aren't already. There is so much that goes into all of this behind the scenes, and your continuous support really helps for me to continue to create these episodes. And so yeah, that is it. Thank you so much, and let's get right into today's episode. I think for most of us, confidence is something that we are actively trying to work on. You know, we want to take steps every day to become our most confident version. And so when you go through a day or a week or even longer phases where you don't feel so confident, you don't feel good about yourself, it's really easy to feel like you are going backwards, and it feels like a setback, like you are no longer on your way to that goal. But there, I really like to remind myself that confidence is not this graph that has to go up exponentially all the time until we reach the ultimate peak of confidence. And so every time we feel low, we are just on our way back down. Like, that's really not the case. It's more a graph that goes up and down, slowly making its way up there, because every time we go down, it creates the opportunity to go even higher, and the lows don't get that low anymore. But just because we are currently in this moment a bit lower, it doesn't mean that we are still not on our way to where we want to go, because actually those lows are an important part of the journey, and also just a small snapshot of a moment. They don't say anything about whether or not we are still on our way to where we want to go. And it also doesn't say anything about how far we have already come. And of course, feeling shit about yourself and feeling insecure is never fun. Like, we want to feel good about ourselves. And so it's really easy to think, well, this feels bad right now, so it must be bad. But just because something feels uncomfortable doesn't immediately make it bad, because whenever we feel insecure or self-doubt or not confident about some part of ourselves or our life, it is also creating awareness. We are seeing something that we do not like, otherwise we couldn't feel that way. And so in that, we can also see what we can continue to change and improve in our lives or within ourselves, because you can want to change and improve and become your best version all you want, but if you don't know which parts of your life need improving, you don't know what to do. And so actually, these moments of self-doubt and insecurity and feeling not confident, if we shift our perspective, they can also be our guidance system and kind of like our compass regarding how we really feel and where we can continue to improve and grow. Like, those moments hold so much value. When I think of all of the parts in my life that I am most proud of, like all of the good habits I have acquired, all of the self-love and the confidence I've acquired, all of the projects that I've created, all of the things I've achieved, I can trace all of it back to some moment where that was not there, and I felt shit about the fact that it wasn't there. Like, I saw that and I felt that, and it made me feel insecure or whatever. I was aware of not having that, and it didn't make me feel good. And so in that, eventually no longer wanting to feel that, I decided to change it. I decided to use it as an opportunity to love myself even more, to believe in myself even more. Like, I can sit here today and say, I'm really proud of the self-love that I've managed to build up within myself. I can trace that back to some moment where I felt so insecure and so about myself that I don't love myself more. And I can sit here and think about all of the skills that I've acquired in my life and all of the projects I've created, and I can trace it back to one moment or multiple moments where I felt shit about the fact that I didn't have these skills that I wanted. I felt insecure about the fact that I hadn't created projects that I'm proud of. And so that's where it came from. You know, all of it, I can trace all of it back to some moment of insecurity or self-doubt. And so now looking back, those moments held so much value, which means the moments in which I still feel these feelings in this moment, they will also create things in the future if I can just manage to shift my perspective on it. So every time I feel shit about myself, I try to imagine it as a slingshot. Like, if I'm currently going back and I'm feeling these feelings that don't feel good, it's like a slingshot. I can use these feelings of insecurity and self-doubt to shoot myself forward, to believe in myself even more, to create even more of a life that I want to live, to take even more steps towards what I want to experience in my life. And the further back I go, the more I can use that as energy to shoot myself forward. I can use it as a catalyst for change. But if I never go into any of these feelings of self-doubt or self-judgment or insecurity, I don't have anything to shoot with. And so actually, these feelings can be used as opportunities for change and growth if I just manage to look at them that way. But the thing is, this kind of analogy of using that to shoot forward and creating change with it, that's really only possible if we manage to hold on to this perception and this perspective, because it's also really easy to get stuck in the feelings that feel not good. And I've been there so many times, like when you feel the feelings and then you just get stuck there, and then it just gets worse and worse, and you are in this horrible spiral of self-doubt and self-hatred, and then you start to believe the negative voices in your head. You make a meaning out of them. They affect your choices and how you go forward in life. And then it becomes a problem, because then we're just stuck there and you're just in the suffering of it. You're not using it to move forward. But these feelings and these thoughts are not the problem. It's just how we use them and how we see them. That's the problem. Because confidence is not something that you either have or you don't have, and that's just the end of it. Like, confidence is something that you have to build up over time, and then you have to maintain it with the right choices and the right mindset and the right actions. But there will continue to be challenges and things that shake up our confidence. It's not like once you have it forever, because confidence, as are many other things in life, it's about the journey and not about the destination. And so the low moments and the things where we do feel shaken up are part of the journey, important parts of the journey. It's not about feeling confident all the time. It's about how we use the lower moments. One state of mind that feels very familiar for me when it comes to dealing with these moments of self-doubt and insecurity, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, are these moments, or it's this mindset where you start thinking, oh, I wish I would be more confident, because if I were, then I would go to this event that I was invited to this evening. Then I would go to travel to this place this year. Then I would go talk to this person. Then I would put myself out there in this way. Then I would. And there, some of the best advice that I've gotten when it comes to dealing with insecurity and self-doubt and not feeling confident is just to say, fake it till you make it. Because you cannot wait until you feel more confident or you no longer care to take the steps in your life that scare you and to really believe in yourself. Because if you wait for that point to come, it will never come. You have to start taking the steps that version of you would take, even if you don't feel like that yet, to become that version of yourself. That's the only way it's gonna work. So, for example, a few years back, when I wanted to get back into creating videos and putting myself out there after having stopped doing that for a couple of years, I would always think, oh, I wish I would be more confident, then I would restart my YouTube channel. I wish I would be more confident, then I would put myself out there again. And I was kind of waiting for that moment to happen where I would feel more confident to do that, for me to actually go and do it. But I eventually realized that that moment never came. Like, it just didn't come. And the only advice and the only thing that worked for me was to just say, fake it till you make it. And to say, okay, I want to do this. I want to continue to create videos. I want to do whatever. So I need to take the steps that version of me would, that more confident version of me would, even if I don't feel like that yet. So I need to sit down and turn on a camera and figure all of this out and decide what I want to say and what I want to do. Even if in this moment, all I feel is insecurity and self-doubt and so many thoughts as to why I shouldn't do it and what people think. That's all my head was filled with. But I realized I have to just do it to become that version of myself that feels more confident about it. And this is where I think there is so much value in the small steps that we take and the little changes that we make, because as we talked about previously, it's all about the journey. You don't have to go 0 to 100. You don't need to wake up on the day where you feel the most not confident and the most scared and do the thing that scares you most, which is, I don't know, jump out of an airplane or something like that. Well, if you would want to do that, go ahead and do that. You know, that's really great, but that's not how I work. Like, I feel like going from 0 to 100 doesn't work for me, but it's the small steps and the small changes where eventually you end up where you want to be, you know? And so if you are currently not feeling confident about yourself and not feeling good about yourself, I would say, instead of just lying in those feelings and finding all of the reasons that can justify why you are feeling this way, maybe ask yourself, what would a more confident version of yourself be doing right now? How would you be spending your time? Who would you be spending your time with? Who would you not be spending your time with? How would you be walking through life? What would you be saying? Which dreams and goals of yours would you be committing to? What would you be doing? And then to the best of your ability, try to take those choices right now, even if you don't feel like that version of yourself yet, because by taking those choices, you will become that version of yourself. For today, I wanted to end this episode with an affirmation that personally really helps me whenever I need a confidence boost, and that is, I am worthy of love, respect, success, and confidence. From my experience, I think a mindset that really makes it very hard to feel confident is when you start feeling like you don't matter, like you're not important, your choices don't matter because, you know, I'm just another person in the sea of 8 billion people. Why even try? Like, no one's even gonna notice if I don't feel confident. No one's even gonna notice if I don't follow my dreams. And then you just get stuck there. First of all, that is not true. Of course it's not true, but also this mindset will just suck confidence out of you immediately, because you are telling yourself that you are not important and that you don't matter across the board. And so it becomes impossible to take choices to work on confidence and to continue to grow and evolve, which all brings more confidence. Like, I feel like that belief, when we start to think that we don't matter and we're not important and that we don't deserve and we are not worthy of happiness, it's literally like poison in water. Like one drop of poison will just poison the entire bucket of water, and everything else that you might be doing right, all of the ways in which, the things that you saw in the videos and the things that you read in the books regarding how you become more confident. You're doing all the things right, but that one drop of poison of thinking that you do not deserve, you're not worthy of confidence and of happiness and of success and love, it's literally just going to poison the entire bucket. Or at least that's how I have felt in the past when I have had thoughts like that. For me, within my beliefs, I really think that in the end, we are all a spark of God or the universe or whatever you want to name it. And so every thought that you have, every dream that you have for the future, every choice that you make in your life, how you speak to yourself and how much you love yourself, all of it matters, and all of it is part of something so important. The choices you take for yourself, how you feel about yourself, what you want your future to look like, all of it is so important. I know that also from myself. When you really start to think, I can do all of these things to improve my confidence, whatever, but for what? Like, I don't even matter. I'm just a person in 8 billion people, and all of this is just so, not important, and why even try? And you kind of forget your place in the world and that you do matter, because none of those thoughts are real or true, but it starts to feel like that. And that's where I always like to say also this fact that we are worthy of the success and of the happiness and of the love, that has nothing to do with how much you accomplish or what other people think of you, or if other people think you're doing well, or how you look, or how you move, or what you dress like. Like, none of that plays into it. It's just your essence, the fact that you are a spark of something so much bigger and something so beautiful. That's already enough. You don't need to do anything to deserve that worthiness at the core. And I know that that's hard to know sometimes when maybe circumstances or life or people are not reflecting that back to you. But that doesn't make it less real, because sometimes the person who has to know that and who has to hold on to that has to be you. But you need to know that you matter and you are worthy of love and happiness and success in every way. Alrighty, my friends. I don't know why I just said my friends. I've never said that, but okay. My friends, thank you so much for tuning in. That is it for today. I really hope that you enjoyed. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to connecting with you in my next episode.